IPO pricing above the offered range right now at $40. What are your expectations when this company goes public? And do you think that investors, they really have an appetite for this kind of a name, unprofitable tech, to be fair?
Frank, I think the demand is quite substantial. Companies been becoming ubiquitous in the ecosystem of the fintech ecosystem, and we're in the early days of buy now, pay later. Still in the United States and other markets, it's still a very small portion. So I think we're going to see a lot more growth out of Klarna and a lot more positive cash flow and profitability in the quarters ahead. 5 consecutive quarters of profitability, heading into more profitable quarters ahead.
All right. I want to talk to you about the company's kind of pivot into kind of trying to be like a retail bank. What do you think about that direction for the company? Do you think investors can understand that? Because, again, we know what is buy now, pay later. Everybody understands what that is. Do you think that investors will understand this pivot that the company's trying to make?
100%, yes. I think the consumers, the tools that they're providing consumers are enabling consumers to manage their cash flows, to evaluate pricing, to effectively be smarter and more constructive consumers and not get stuck with 28 or 30% credit card debt. And I think the consumers are responding to that. And you'll see them continue to expand their banking franchise into the United States and the UK, as they have in Sweden and other parts of the world already. So I think we're in the early days, and you'll see them continue to grow and expand their consumer base as well as their retail partner base.
I just want to talk to you about going public right now. So Klarna previously had made plans to go public back in April, and then they cited uncertainty because of tariffs. We're going to show some other companies that have IPO'd this year. The moves we're going to show are where they're doing after their post-IPO pop. And you're going to see a lot of these names like a Figma, a Bullish, a Circle. They're considerably lower since that happened. I mean, we're looking right now. Figma, it pulled back about 63% from its highs. Looking at eToro pulling back as well. What do you make of that performance of these companies pulling back? And are you concerned that Klarna might face a similar path?
Well, look, Goldman Sachs is the underwriter, JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley alongside them. Those are the 3 strongest investment banks on the street. They've done a great job, I think, of communicating the company's strengths to the various investor constituent groups around the United States and around the world. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're listing in New York because the largest market for Klarna is in New York. And there's always going to be profit taking after stocks run up. I think it's interesting to note that most of those names you're showing on the screen are fintech related names. There's no tariff on financial services. And I think that's clearly a window of opportunity. And I expect Klarna to have a very successful launch. And as they continue to do their land and expand their process, a disciplined process of going into new markets, they're now in 26 countries, and I think they'll continue to grow. And I think you'll see the company report earnings. They got the 3rd quarter of this year, the 4th quarter of this year. I think you'll continue to see positive news out of Klarna. As to the short-term fluctuations, near-term, it's very difficult to predict. We're a long-term investor. We've been investors in Klarna now for 6 years, and if the stock stays down at these levels, we'll probably add to our position because we think it's very compelling vis-a-vis the competitive landscape of other companies in their space.